My vision for Morrisville is for a well-balanced, highly desirable community in which we are proud to live, work, and raise our families. I've lived in many places during my life and experienced many communities. And I am so proud of the fact that Morrisville is a diverse, welcoming community that values history, culture, and traditions. I once lived in a town that bragged, "You never have to leave," meaning that all your needs were met right there within the town limits. At the time I was young and really didn't understand that concept. Today I understand it. My vision or wish for Morrisville is that we have all our needs right here within our small 10 square mile town. And by needs does not mean wishes and desires, but our needs for a safe community to raise our children, job opportunities if we wish to take advantage of them, and a quality of life that is enviable.
Ms. Smilinski.
One of the town's current strategic priorities is growth management. Further, it is stated that the town will plan and manage growth in a manner that generates development which maintains the small town character and improves the quality of life for its citizens. There's little land left to be developed in Morrisville, and I'd like all of our current future plans to live and breathe that small town character part of that statement. For example, if the economics of a downtown town center are proven feasible, I would like to see it full of more mom and pop shops and not commercial businesses and or townhomes.
Mr. Schlink.
I pledge to better focus on the interests and quality of life of our residents, neighborhoods, and existing businesses, while supporting balanced growth that is willing to pay for its fair share of infrastructure improvements. The Council needs to consider more options and increase fiscal transparency to ensure that citizens are better informed, their concerns are heard, and our environment is protected. I believe that it's worth repeating. I believe it's unacceptable that the town officials have not adequately invested in road funding, road maintenance, stormwater runoff, and traffic calming measures. Again, these deficiencies can and must be corrected quickly to prevent these negative trends from gathering momentum and diminishing our quality of life even further.
Mr. Stolman.
It may sound funny, but honestly, my vision is a little irrelevant here. It's what the public wants. That's what matters. Over the past 3 months, I've visited almost 1,000 homes in Morrisville, and the feedback I received is that folks think there's enough retail, there are enough apartments, both on the ground and in the pipeline. They want more single-family homes and more open space. Morrisville is about built out, and we need to make quality decisions about the revitalization of our old warehouse district and some of the blighted areas. Citizens are very concerned about traffic, and they agree that a lot of it is caused by commuters coming through town on the way to RTP. Those are mainly Apex and Cary folks, and they don't want to be the ones that pay that bill. So there has to be some sharing, some cooperation with NCDOT, the state, and Cary. Thank you.
All right, the candidates have talked about what their vision is for Morrisville. Now we will ask them how many hours you plan to devote to the responsibilities of town council per week, if elected. I'll start with Ms. Smilinski.
So before I decided to run, I thought long and hard about what I think it means to hold a political office. And while I do believe that there are many elements that I would be happy to discuss with you at a different time, getting back to the question, I think you need to devote as much time as necessary to finish a job in a quality manner. However, I will say that it's always important to balance your physical and your spiritual, whatever that may be, health, so that you are making quality decisions. So the answer is as much time as necessary, but not compromising health and or family life.
Mr. Stolman.
I'm a CPA, so get ready for some numbers here. There are 168 hours in a week. If I subtract 16 hours a day for work and sleep, that leaves 56 hours a week for some other activities and council duties. I estimated that 70% of my spare time will be devoted to town council activities. 11 of the remaining hours would be split among yard work, family time, mountain biking, helping my son with college applications, and the remaining 6 hours would go to watching ACC basketball.
Mr. Stolman. All right, let's hear from Ms. Johnson.
I actually went back through my calendar so that I could accurately answer this question. And except for the weeks I may be on vacation, and even then, I've been known to take phone calls and respond to emails. At a bare minimum, I've invested or devoted 15 to 20 hours a week. At the busiest of times, I've actually devoted 40 hours or more. The 2 council meetings a month and the prep time for those meetings are actually minor. The other activities are the more time-consuming activities. The meeting with citizens, taking phone calls from citizens, attending workshops and committee meetings, attending community events, church events, fundraisers, I've been invited to speak at schools. Those take up a great deal of time. And I have proven that I have the time. I do this full-time now, and I'll continue to do it full-time for citizens of Morrisville.
Mr. Colley.
In addition to my current volunteer activities with my kids' sports teams and schools, I will continue to spend 20 or more hours per week on town council responsibilities, or more when the job requires it. Budget time, for example. I have a lot of respect for Liz. She does a lot for the town as a full-time council person, and she's out there and representing us. And I would love to be able to do that same thing. As she said, meetings are in the evenings, just a few hours per week. The real discovery and legwork happens during the day. I'm a stay-at-home father who is fortunate to have a lot of time to devote to the town. Representing your interests on the town council will be my full-time job.
Mr. Costello.
Well, I guess for everyone else, especially being a first-time candidate, we have no idea what to expect, but I can tell you a little bit about my background. You know, I'm a former Army Ranger. In the 3rd paragraph of the Ranger Creed states the following: "Never shall I fail my comrades. I will always keep myself mentally alert, physically strong, and morally straight. I will always shoulder more than my share of the task, whatever it may be, 100% and then some." I've always tried to live by those words, so I have no fear about the time commitments of this job.
Ms. Lyons.
The amount of time depends on the issue that needs to be covered. There's not a set amount of hours. There's so much work that goes on beyond the board meeting. We have classes, conferences, workshops, meetings, read and send emails. We meet with citizens and staff. So there's really no set time.
Mr. Rao.
Well, I put 120% in everything I do in my life, so I won't do any differently as your councilman. I don't believe that you need to do this job full-time. I manage my time very well. And I think actually working at Alpha Numerica in my role, I now run business development for the whole company. I don't travel a lot. I've got a great, generous boss who gives me a lot of flexibility. I'm not making my customers happy all the time. I call my own hours and meet customers during the day. And I meet a lot of CEOs in all kinds of industries where I just learn about best practices, things that we can do to increase our operating capital, things that we can do for continuous improvement. And I think we need that on this council. And I'm going to bring those ideas to the table. I also meet a lot with Secretary Jerry Frelick, who works for Governor Perdue. And he's always teaching me about cloud computing and technology and things like that. And I think we can look at being more efficient. So I will focus 120% of my effort, like anything I've done in my life, and I will do the best I can to be a great councilman. Thank you.
Mr. Schling.
I'm committed to rolling up my sleeves and working with my colleagues and then taking as long as necessary at the council table and away from it. If a council meeting has to carry past 10 p.m., which is what the current council has agreed not to do, I will stay past midnight if needed. I will go out and meet with business owners, residents, neighborhoods, which is what I have done on the campaign trail, and not just show up for ribbon cuttings. This council continues to take the easy path, end meetings at 8:30 without working off their discussion list, and continue to put off the tough budget changes at the town's business model that did not occur when residents defeated the 19% property tax increase. Earlier this year, when the council was briefed by staff that the Public Works Department needed $1 to $3 million to start and finish resurfacing town roads, they responded by putting it off. To quote the mayor from a May 21st Cary News article, the question is, do we present a rosy picture right before we propose a tax increase in 12 months?